We're going old school for this one, all the way back to the early 80s to look at Haunted House for the Atari 2600. Now you might think that it looks pretty primitive by today's standards, but it still deserves to be talked about. You play as a character whom is represented by a pair of eyes roaming around a house at night. You know, that old cartoon thing. So there are many floors throughout the house that all look identical to each other, with the only difference being the variety of wall colors. So how do you tell if you're going up the stairs or down the stairs? You have to pay attention to the sounds. When you hear this sound, you're going up. When you hear this sound, you're going down. Yeah, sound plays a big part in this game, but I will say it is a little annoying hearing that tick 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 sound every time you walk. It is kind of ear-grating. The enemies in this game are a bat, a spider, and a ghost that is referred to as Mr. Graves. Mr. Zachary Graves, to be exact, who owned the mansion you're currently in, but passed away. I always liked how the Atari games would give you a story, even if it wasn't really needed. It just adds to the overall experience. You get a total of 9 hits to your health, but it's not really needed if you strategize. If you find the wand, then none of the enemies can touch you. However, you can only carry one item at a time, so you can't hold on to it forever, and still win the game. Other items, like keys, that will open doors, and an urn are randomly placed around the house, but appear invisible. The only way you can see them is if you activate your flashlight, which illuminates the area around you. However, the urn isn't in one piece. There are 3 pieces of the object scattered around the house, and when you find them, the full urn will appear. So how do you beat this game? Once you've completed the construction of the urn, you have to take it back to the first floor and out the front door. At this point, you will win the game, and it will start over with a higher difficulty. At the time, this game was praised for its simple design and creepy atmosphere. And I would have to agree. I'm sure today, in 2019, it won't leave much of an impression on you, but it should be admired for being one of the first horror-themed games ever. Not as popular, but there actually was a sequel to this game called Return to Haunted House, and it's much more like the Atari game Adventure, in which you are represented as a square going around grabbing items. And this game is 10 times harder than the first one, I kid you not. It's like a maze, and there's this ghost that follows you around and moves way faster than you do, and you can only get hit a few times before you die, and it is super hard to escape him. Yeah, this is a tough one, and I really can't get too far in it. If you'd like to play both of these games today, they are included on the Atari Flashback Classics Volume 2. Give them a play, and see if you too can make it through these haunted houses.